Hi everybody. I know it's not time for night, but I want to go ahead and do this because I'm getting ready to go hang out with my daughter, and who knows, we might even end up with at Brewster's and want to just hang out all evening eating ice cream, That's just the kind of party girls that we are. So I just want to go ahead and do this. But the events of this past weekend have really caused me to start thinking about some concepts, some ideas, some things that God talks about in the Bible. And one of those things is unity. And God says in unity, He talks about how it pleases Him, how unity is so pleasing to God. And then He talks later on, and He speaks about how we are to endeavor to keep unity. It should be something that we strive to keep. And then He talks about how whenever there isn't unity, that a house divided against itself will fall. It'll be destroyed. Unity is important to God. And when there's not unity, it's doomed for destruction. I also thought about it this past weekend, how God speaks about that every joint in the body supplies. God puts us together in the body of Christ as it pleases Him. And I've had teaching objects before that I've done. And what I do is I take and put something in a brown bag, and I ask people to assemble it. And they don't know what's in the brown bag, and they go in and they begin to assemble it. And it usually comes out and it looks something like this. Because they're in the dark and they're trying to assembling it, and they're putting it together, and this is how this turns out. Now, those of you who are of my generation know that this is not how this is supposed to look. It's actually supposed to look something like this. Well, her eyes are kind of crossed. It's supposed to look something like this. But what happens? What is the difference? This one I put together where I could see. This one I put together where I could not see. God is the one who puts every joint in the body. He puts us all in the body as it pleases Him. He's the one who can see everything. He knows the gifts and the talents. He knows what He's placed in us. So when He places us in a body, when He places us in a local assembly, He knows what that assembly needs, and He knows it's going to bring fullness in that body. This is when we begin to place ourselves, or we begin to place each other based upon what we see and what we think we know, and what we believe is to be right, without hearing the voice of God. What we end up is something that looks kind of funny, or it looks monstrous. This weekend I saw what happens when we begin to operate where God has placed us. When we operate in the body of Christ as we're supposed to, where we're supposed to, the end result is amazing. I am so proud to be a member of the body of Christ. I am so proud of my brothers and sisters. I am so proud of us when we come together and we do what we're supposed to do, when we're supposed to do it, and how we're supposed to do it, without jealousy of what the other one is doing. We just do our part. I saw it happen this weekend. We always talk about the dysfunction and the unity. This weekend, I saw unity in action, and I understand why it pleases God. I am grateful to be a member of the South Augusta community, of the community of Augusta, Georgia, and I am grateful for what's getting ready to happen, what has already begun to happen, what has started to happen right here in this community. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. And in the meantime, go where He tells you to go. Do what He tells you to do. Be that functioning part of the body where every joint supplies. And the end result, God is glorified. Not you and not me. The real star of the show is Jesus Christ. This is Sabrina with your Night Nugget, getting ready to go party at Brewster's Ice Cream with my daughter. Now, I'm sure that's going to embarrass her. She's not going to like that I did that, because I'm not supposed to act like that. But this is Sabrina. This is the Night Nugget. See you later.